Hey y'all, this is Rebecca and I've come on here to show you how I maintain my semi-freeform locks. I start off with a little light brushing of my locks in order to get any lint and pet hair that's on the surface. I do have a dog. I'm about to get into the shower.
A few moments later.
Okay, this is what my hair looks like freshly out of the shower. As you can see, a nice length check there, and I'll turn around to show you the back. Okay, and this is me having towel dried my hair, and I'm about to get into the styling. So showing you some of the products I use. So the first one is from Crown Elements, from a YouTuber on here named The Digital Loctician. I love her products. So I'm going to spray that down. It's a rose water and aloe based moisturizing mister. And so I'm just working that into my hair here, and then I'm going to follow that up with a light oil. I am using coconut oil. I know folks use whatever works best for you. You've got full agency there, but I still am on the coconut oil boat. So I know this is another controversial topic of the lock community: where and how you oil your locks. Again, I'm a firm believer in doing what is best for you. So as you'll see, I run it from root to tip, and it's really just enough that coats both my hands, and that takes care of my whole hair. Flip my hair over to get my kitchen, and of course I'm definitely a towel and paper towel queen, so I gotta wipe things off. So let me wipe it off my chest there. And so right now what I'm doing is trying to decide if I'm going to do a middle or a side part. I decided on the middle part, and what I'm going to do here is I actually don't retwist very often. So I found this technique from a YouTuber. Cannot remember her name right now, but I will link her in my in the description of this video. But she maintains her locks basically by doing braid outs and twist outs. And so that's something that I started doing. I didn't want to be retwisting too often. I do kind of like the puffier look. I don't like when my hair is too snatched. So this is what I do. I did decide to do a light retwist in the front of my hair to just kind of clean it up a little bit since it's been a while. And so you see me here doing that and just using my lips to hold in my locks because I was not going to go fishing for any clips. When you don't retwist often, you never know where your clips are. And so you'll see, because I have 40 locks, I cannot do a full braid out for my entire head using the 3-strand method. So I'll do 12 braids and 2 twists to make up my 40 locks. And so that you'll see me doing the 2 twists in the front, and then everything else will be a braid, a traditional braid with 3. And so you see up here, I am just making sure that I'm parting my hair as best as I can. I will say that this method has resulted in me having a more tamed semi-freeform experience. Even though I don't retwist often, I usually am putting it in some type of style like this, a very low tension style like this every time I wash. And so then of course I'm training my hair to kind of stay in its place. So I don't have a whole lot of marrying of roots. Usually it's just 1 or 2 strands that I have to, as you just saw, kind of pop. And of course you all know that my hair is freshly out of the shower, so it is still wet. And that is the only time that you really should be manipulating your roots. Not only for the health of your hair, but it's painful. So anyways, moving in, so as you can see, I'm just kind of cleaning up parts a little bit. I only use my fingers. I do not use a comb. My parts aren't that important to me, as long as for the most part the hair stays where it's supposed to go. I'm not, using a rat tail comb to reinforce. You'll see here that I secure the ends of my hair. I don't know if I already showed it to the camera. I think I might have, but I am keen on using, what do they call it? They are hair ties, baby hair ties. I found them on Amazon. So they are basically like the elastic hair ties, but they are, the black elastic hair ties, but they are small to go at the bottoms of my locks. I use those instead of rubber bands because, one, you can reuse them easily, and they don't like hold your hair too tight like sometimes a rubber band can. When I don't have them around, I will use a rubber band. I just don't do any rotations too much so that it can easily come off the end of my hair there. So as you can see, the front is complete. I'm just going ahead and really, I decide as I'm doing my hair how I'm going to do these braids. So I will say that they always don't come out the same way. It's usually based on how my hair is laying and what I want to do with them. So you see I usually start in the back. Today I decided to start in the front because I knew I wanted my two twists in the front and not hidden in the back. Because how I wanted it to frame my face. And so I just decided to start at the crown of my head. And these are my thickest locks, as you will see. And so they are not all even. When I was in Loose Natural, I did experience what a lot of black girls have experienced when they're taking out box braids is not paying attention and snipping my hair. And so that happened in my crown area. And so this is some of the reasons why some of the hair or the blocks in my crown area is a little bit shorter than the rest of my hair, is because of the treacherous experience with scissors and box braids. So it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it. And so the other thing too is that sometimes just the way that your head is shaped, hair can sometimes look like it's shorter, but really it's not. But my locks aren't perfect, and that's what I love about them. They are definitely unique. And so I've started out on the sides, and as you can see, I kind of do the same thing. I separate the three locks with my fingers, try to make sure that there's no snagged hairs, and I just go straight into braiding them, trying to get as close to the root as possible. In this next section, you'll see that I actually had to rebraid it because I was realizing it was too loose at the top. I try to kind of gather the hair and tighten it as I'm starting off the braid, and you'll see it here soon. So just deciding the three that I'm going to section off for this braid. And as you see, that top part is a little bit looser than I'd like. So I'm braiding, and then I stop and see it, touch it, and like, no, let me do that again. So I do that braid and tighten that up a little bit. And you'll see it's just the same thing now, braiding all the way down to the end, as far as the end I can get. Of course, all my locks are not the same length. My hair doesn't all, mind you, outside of the box braid snip, I started growing my hair in 4 sets of locks from a low fade. So somewhat started off with hair all the same size, but they don't end up that way. I think it's just the way my hair grows. Some parts of it grows faster than other parts. And so I struggled a little bit here because I'm usually not, trying to make sure the camera can see what's happening. So you'll see me keep looking weirdly back. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm still in the frame. And so this is the way that I have really been maintaining my locks. I guess since probably they matured, which is probably at 8 or 9 months. I would say my locks were more mature and fully locked. I knew that I really did not want thin locks. As you'll see, they're not the thickest. Even though I only have 40, it's really because of my hair texture. I am a 4 girl, but I definitely believe that the hair typing system does not represent, like, I feel like there's more hair types than just and within the 4 range and just the 3. I really don't have a curl pattern. It's as my hair lengthens, it's like a long squiggle. It doesn't really have a coil, it doesn't really have a curl, but it is kinky. Don't know if that makes sense, but I've not been committed enough to try to recreate a new typing system. But if someone is out there that would love to do that, I would fully support that because I don't think I'm fully captured in there. But anyways, back to the video. So as you can see, I'm working on the back of my head, trying to get just continuing the 3 braid process. As you can see from my parts, I really did not follow a parting style. I'm not too much concerned with the back of my head as long as nothing's breaking off back there and nothing's merging together that I don't want to merge. I really took the time to the front of my head more than the back of my head. Consequences of living alone through the pandemic. So, and I just did what I had to do, and I like it. It's unique. Sometimes the back of my head doesn't cooperate in like how I want my locks to fall, but it's not something that keeps me up. Oh, I remember what I was saying before. See, ADHD. So I was saying about how I came across this method of maintaining locks, and I was hoping in the time that I was talking, I'd remember the YouTuber's name. But like I said, I will make sure that she is in the description box. I watched a lot of her videos and was really inspired by the way that she kept her hair, and it was a good solution for me, knowing that I wanted my hair to look presentable in that, I work in a corporate setting and I want to make sure that I'm not, being pulled into HR on some discriminatory nonsense. I do live in the state of North Carolina, so we don't got much protections over here. But I also didn't want to be snatching my scalp all the time. I'm tender-headed, and the whole purpose of getting locks for me was to be able to be low maintenance with my hair. And so when I came across her method, I was like, oh, absolutely. And so I've been doing it ever since. And so I'm now 2.5 years locked. My December 21st will make 3 years. And yeah, this has been the best decision I've made in a long time. This is I want to say might be my fourth set of locks, and this is the one I've held on to the longest. The number 40 was of no significance. Oh, as you can see, I'm sorry, I grimaced there because I had to use a rubber band. So I did, one of my braids had to have a rubber band, and I left the baby band, the baby hair tie. That's what I'm gonna call it. I don't think that's what it's called, but you know what I mean. It's just a small hair tie for like children's hair. On my last one because it's thicker. So, but anywho, I am done. So it is a very quick process. I think, of course, this video sped up a little bit, but the actual time of the video was like 23 minutes from the time I started to the time it's finished. So that's that. And here is, I just put in some hoops and tied some hair back. I had to go to the grocery store. My hair is still wet, so when I come back, I will sit under my detachable dryer and just dry it up. And what I'll do is I will probably wear this for work on Monday and take it out on Tuesday.